All right, we're going to continue on. We're looking at solving one-step inequalities. And this time we're going to be considering solving an inequality using multiplication or division. So let's take a look at what our first example is here. And this corresponds to page 35 on your textbook. This is example 2, solve an inequality using multiplication or division. So I've got negative 4x is greater than or equal to negative 24. And so to solve this is going to actually be pretty simple. I'm going to isolate the x by dividing both sides of the inequality by negative 4. And when I do so, over here on my left side, my negative 4 is going to cancel. It's going to leave me with x. And then I've got negative 24 divided by negative 4. Well, I'm dividing two negatives. That means my answer is going to be positive. When I divide a negative by a negative, my resulting answer is going to be a positive. And so negative 4 divided by, negative 24 divided by negative 4 is 6. Now, what about my inequality? I divided by a negative. And so when I'm dealing with inequalities, if I divide or multiply by a negative number, I have to reverse or flip that inequality symbol. And so it's going to be, rather than greater than or equal to, I've got x is less than or equal to. Now, if that had been a positive 4x greater than negative 24, I would have been dividing by a positive number, and my inequality symbol would have remained as it was, and my answer would have been x is greater than or equal to negative 6. But given the problem that I have, and I'm dividing by that negative, I got to reverse or flip that inequality symbol. So let's see. Let's do our number line. I'm going to say that this is 0 right here. And out here we got 6. So the first question is, am I dealing with an open dot or a closed dot? Well, because this is now less than or equal to, I'm going to have a closed dot, because 6 is part of the solution set. And which way am I going to draw my arrow on my number line to indicate my solution set? I'm going to take it to the left, because we're looking at less than or equal to 6. So here we've solved an inequality using multiplication or division. This time I had to divide by a negative number, causes me to have to flip that inequality symbol. Be careful with that. And as always, be careful with your signs. Dividing two negative numbers together is going to give me a positive answer. We'll take a look at one more. All right, well, this example is similar to the last. Again, we're solving and we're doing a one-step, using one-step solving an inequality using multiplication or division, one-step inequalities. And I've got negative 9.2x, 9 2/10 x, is less than 23. And again, so it's similar. So to isolate my x, I simply have got to divide both sides of the inequality by 9.2. And over here on the left of the inequality, my 9.2 is going to cancel. I'm going to be left with x. And then I've got 23 divided by negative. I'm about to make a big mistake right there. See, got to be careful. Divided by negative 9.2. So let's see, it's going to force me to get a calculator out. So I've got 23 divided by negative 9.2. Now, first, I'm dividing a positive number by a negative number. That means my answer is going to be negative. If the signs are different and I'm using multiplication or division, it's going to be a negative. And 23 divided by negative 9.2 was negative 2.5, or 2.5. Now, again, what about my inequality symbol? Well, I divided by a negative, and so rather than being a less than, it is now going to be greater than. And so x is greater than negative 2.5. Let's go to the last step. Let's put this on the number line. I'm going to put the 0 out here. And let's say that this is -2 right there. This is -3 right here. And I'm looking at 2.5, which let's say is going to be right about there. All right. Now, is it open dot or closed dot? Well, this is just a greater than. Oh, I shouldn't do that, should I? That'll mess it up. Well, it doesn't want to erase here. Okay, forget that. Put our X right there. Well, why it didn't erase? It should erase. Yeah, there you go. Okay. X is greater than -2.5, so I'm going to have an open dot here at 2.5. And which way am I going to extend my number line to show my solution set? Well, it's greater than, so I'm going to come over here to the right. Boom. There we are. This represents our solution set where X is greater than -2.5. Solving inequalities, one-step inequalities, solving them by using multiplication or division.